then thinking about how to make them hang, right? This is part of our engineering head that we're going to have to put on, right? As sculptors, we have to think about how things sit in space so that they're safe, that they're stable, that they don't fall on anyone, that they don't break, especially since they're made out of ceramic, right? So we want to make sure that whatever slipping and scoring we do that has to do with attachment, we remember that it's holding the body weight of the whole piece, right? So you want to be very aggressive with slipping and scoring. Also, when you flip over a piece, let's use foam and let's be protective, because when things start to get dry, they get brittle, and if they start to break at that point, they may become unsalvageable. So we need to be very, very cautious, okay? Okay, so again, this project is just about building a relief surface that has a foreground, middle ground, background. We're using 3 methods to do so. The first one we want to use when it's really wet, right? Which is displacement, using your clay to push up and push down, not taking away or adding. And then as things get stiffer, we have the ability to carve, which is subtraction, or slip and score pieces onto, which is addition. Okay? All right. Thank you. In the back, right?
But I think I should do one in the middle.
I do too. Because when it's firing, it needs your support.
Okay, so
right?
I should just be...
Right, so that was really good. You're reacting to it structurally. So now know exactly where that weakness is, so that when you flip it, you can remember and put supports right in those places.
Okay.
Do you need some help flipping it? I'll get you a piece of foam.
Okay, thank you.
Amy, I have foam. I'm not using it.
It's like mermaid relief, and I really like it because you have to like use just like one piece of clay to like get your sculpture. So I think it's really cool and creative about it.
My whole hand's in the back, open. My hand's in the front, open. And I'm going to try to make my fingers as widespreading as possible so that when I'm flipping, I'm getting all the support it needs. So, yeah. Now just another strip right there. All right, you'll be good. Thanks.
So I am making an eagle flying through the woods in mountains, and I was inspired to do this because my favorite place is in the mountains, and so I wanted to portray that. And then I also think eagles are very majestic, so I just thought this is a very nice picture to do with like all the depth and imagery.
I'm working on a mermaid relief because I really like the water, and I'm on the swim team here, so I'm all about the water.
Yeah. If you guys have your drawings, you can show your drawing with, and it really makes a lot of good sense. So let's take out your drawing. A nice way to help our audience understand what you're doing. After these are fired, you guys are going to add color. As sculptors, we don't always get the liberty of using color. This is big different classes to be able to access. And down, you get eye cavities. So you can push this down to start to get the area of the face that you're going to need to slip and score a little piece of clay here to get the nose to come up, unless you can get your finger under there. But it seems like you've expressed this piece of clay the best you can already. And yeah, so there's these kind of sweet little folds in the face. Down.
These are some examples of traditional Greek friezes on the outside of buildings, and it's sort of what we're modeling our reliefs after.
Well, the
elephant is my favorite animal, and then I put the dancer on top because I used to dance and I kind of still always want to learn how to dance. And it was kind of hard because you had to like push it from the back, but it gave you like a lot of leeway to do what you want, because if you messed up, you could just push things back into place. And it was really fun because instead of having to like work on just a 2D space, you could kind of form it to do however you want. So it's fun.
Here, I can help you with that.
I'm trying to make a portrait of my grandfather, like sitting on a bench. I didn't have a picture of him, so I'm kind of going off his features here. And I'm hoping it'll turn out a little better than it is, but I'm still working on it.
So I picked the seashells because we live on Cape Cod and I love the beach. And live close to the beach.
And then your
It's
hole
really
can
pretty.
actually be where the holes would naturally be, right? And then another one right at the bottom so that it sits level. Yeah. Think about sculpture because it's a sculptural surface. And then we'll be working our way slowly into the 3 dimensions. But right now we're still on the wall, so it's still a 2-dimensional image that's coming into our space, but it isn't fully walk aroundable yet, which is what sculpture is about, something that doesn't really have a front. So it's something that your brain really kind of has to wrap around. So this is a nice way to get there slowly. So in this case, this is a finished relief slab that is exposed some raw clay and some glazed clay. So we're using color to reinforce the surfaces that we've already built up. But if we were working in, say, marble, we wouldn't have the liberty of using any color, right? So the ancient Greek and Romans did a lot of relief on their surfaces of their buildings to talk a lot about what the building would be used for, or the history behind what it is they were trying to achieve with like civic duties. And in this case, since we're working with ceramics, we have the ability to play with raw clay as well as a glazed surface, which is glass. And so I'm hoping that the kids will, you can see how texture is something that glaze really enjoys. So by working really hard to separate our objects through texture, we get to take that even further with the use of glaze. Oh yeah. You want help doing that?
I'm in wheel throwing 1. I'm also in sculpture class with Amy, and I combined the 2 aspects of both classes, and I made a mug with imprints of mountains all around it.
And structurally compromise the entire structure, right? So think about the strapping across the back as a method of hanging, but also as a method of supporting it while it's drying and being fired. So at least 2. Sometimes in the case of bigger pieces, you need 3. So this is a beautiful use of texture. The hair and your water is a little subtle. You see those teeny tiny lines are not going to show up under the glaze. You know how glaze likes to bite into something a little more beefy and a little bit more articulated.
So do you think
I would smooth those waves and then go back in and use your tool to really carve out something equivalent to the hair, but in the reverse.
Okay.
That would feel like a wave. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Okay. And so knowing that this would be the water line, this would come. That have some really clear subtraction
Okay.
to get the water flowing, right? This and this can't both be smooth,
Right.
right? If you want this to be smooth, then you need to make an action in the sky. But if you made an action in the sky, it would complicate the hair, right?
Yeah.
So I would keep it smooth back here,
Okay.
so you can really show off all this cool stuff going on. That make good sense?
Yeah.
And that's what these tools are for. So if you go on in here, and you can take away just a little bit of that, so we know that this is sky and this is water. And then go on in and come with the scheme. Maybe this line, and goes up and over, right? Then it can, yes, so it's right here. It's one line. That line going behind her and reappearing here. So I believe. So that's the rubric, and each project has 5 categories that kids are trying to achieve. So as you heard earlier, they're trying to use displacement, which is pushing the clay around while it's soft, subtraction, which is taking clay away when it's stiffer, and addition, to really bring forth the areas of the relief that they want to be very projected into our space. And then the use of texture to help separate things so that when we do glaze it, glaze will grab onto that texture. All of this is going to help articulate the illusion of depth. And thanks for joining us. This is sculpture class. Hope you enjoyed.